The Attorney General of Oyo State countered all the applications and urged the court to reject same. He even chipped in, and which was the part I found curious, protective custody. He mentioned something like that. And of course, the senior advocate rose to tell the judge that that does not have the force of law, that that is empty. So Barrister Aikomo on the day did his level best between the two senior advocates who are sharp-witted and very, very versed. So the brief, that's the summary of what happened in the courtroom.
Maestro reporting for Agidigwe FM.
So that's what happened there. Eventually, I see that the senior advocates and the lawyer for the principal did a good job, representing their clients. So all we need to do now is to wait for the ruling on, early next week.
All right. You mentioned so many. I heard so many things from what you said. Prosecution instead of prosecution, and also the word protective custody. So I don't know if you want to elaborate on that. If we could say something around that. I think you said if time permits us, you want to say something around that.
Yes. Well, the point, I guess, what the senior advocate was trying to present before the Honorable Justice was that since those charges, number one, if you are saying that the holding charge was strange, to our legal system, according to their arguments in court, then how did you get to the point of detention? Because that's what they were trying to present before the judge, that the holding charge, and that even if it was going to happen, the way it happened was not the way it should have happened.
According to the law.
Yes, that, the law gave 4 items. I wasn't jotting, and I'll tell you a little bit about the court too, and Nigerians. So I wasn't jotting. Most of the things that I put together when I got home eventually were the ones I could remember easily. But I quite remember 4 key points in the argument of the senior advocate that should have been observed and presented before the magistrate, so that the magistrate will now, on the strength of those things, be able to say, okay, go to, custody or grant bail, as the case might. But those, that the law was not observed at that point as such, or that was observed in breach. And so, which was why the magistrate probably said, okay, I can't hear this. So, but you have to. He couldn't hear it, but he was. But the Attorney General argued that none of those things were strange to Nigerian law, that everything was properly done. Yes, he argued in favor of the conduct of the police, effecting arrests, detention, and then taking the applicants before the magistrate, court. So the prosecution, part would either stand if the judge decides this way or that. That's when you will know eventually. So we cannot judge it by ourselves other than to report what transpired. So in the court, Ura, I will tell you, because we talk about Nigerians a lot, and one of the things I've said this even before I went to that place yesterday, that we are not making our judges comfortable enough in this country. I think that system should have been seriously computerized by now. I still see a lot of longhand going on. Why couldn't we use, effective sound systems? There you have technologies around the world today that would record everything. I asked the lawyer, after the session,
There's a
that
recording.
no, I said, could we get a transcript? The man laughed. He just laughed and said no. That there was such attempts, but I think there are some of these things that the NBA will get on top of. Those days, I'm aware that they fought hard, for these things, and I think they are still, working in that direction. Maybe these things could also be brought to, in comprehensive requests, brought to the consciousness of state government, so that these things could be done. Concerning us, so much traffic. People are walking in and walking out of the courtroom. The
Oh.
case was going on, walk in, walk out, walk in, walk out. The door was creaking, open, close, open, close. And where we were seated at the gallery, there was a steady hum. It's so ridiculous. Grown-ups, people who are grown up, giving the oddly, a problem. The oddly kept on, like school kids. Look, put your phone in your pocket. Look, I will seize your phone. He will come back again. They will bring down. Oh no. It was so embarrassing. And you had some, you even had commentaries at the top, humming.
From people.
I said, if you were so good at handling court cases, you should
get a wig.
You should have been on the inside there and not, in the gallery. I think we're poorly behaved. Sincerely, there are places. If you go to courtrooms in those societies, you will see, perfect silence in courtrooms. Perfect pin drop silence. It's not the case with us. We just, we will create a hum. So there's some lapses that I saw yesterday, but by far, the one that bothered me most was that we still haven't done enough, by the court systems, apply science and technology to these things, such that when the judge talks, the entire courtroom will hear. For instance, when the lawyers talk, the whole courtroom will hear. And more importantly, the transcript would be there at the end of each session. And then it goes straight to the lawyers, it goes straight to the judges, and then they have those things in their systems, before, because it's running as the court session runs. And I think we deserve that at this point in 2025, around the country. I think we should be working in that direction.